Heat, again, heat. What could ever rival the quiet beauty of a vast green land glowing beneath an open sky? Step closer, closer still. Toward a secluded garden hidden deep within the Austrian Alps, a place untouched by noise where sunlight lingers and life is allowed to multiply freely. Here, diversity does not struggle to exist, it flourishes. At the core of this living sanctuary lies a universe almost unseen, a realm that escapes the casual eye, the insect world. Countless lives move within it, each perfectly attuned to its surroundings. Every species understands how to draw strength from nature, how to survive using only what is given. Yet this harmony is fragile. Beneath the calm surface, the truth is unforgiving. Every second, millions perish. Silence does not mean safety. Here, danger is constant, and no creature is promised tomorrow. This world follows a single, unbreakable law: eat or be eaten. Survival is not an event, but a relentless state of being. Each inhabitant is a testament to time itself, shaped by millions of years of natural selection. Some have evolved defenses so precise they seem deliberate. Others kill with methods so ruthless they defy imagination. From the very first breath of life, the lesson is clear: existence must be earned. On the underside of a leaf, 5 tiny eggs wait in stillness. Their mother placed them here 6 days ago, leaving them to face the world alone. Fragile and helpless, their survival begins with a miracle the moment they hatch. From these shells emerge the scarlet lily beetle, a creature carrying one of nature's most unsettling strategies for survival. Barely born, the larva begins to feed, consuming leaf after leaf, filling itself with cellulose. Then slowly it performs an act both shocking and ingenious. It coats its body in its own waste, a grotesque shield. Whether this foul armor deters predators, protects against disease, or shields from drought remains uncertain. The precise purpose is still unknown, but its effect is undeniable. As repulsive as it appears, this behavior allows life to continue long enough to reach transformation. In the insect world, metamorphosis is destiny. Nothing remains as it is. Step by step, form yields to form. Larva becomes caterpillar. Caterpillar becomes adult. Each phase is a passage, each change a test. For the beetle, this journey leads toward its most profound transformation. Challenges surround it at every stage. And so, when the time comes, it disappears beneath the earth. Hidden from sight, it burrows into the soil and constructs a cocoon from saliva and dirt, sealing itself away from the world it once knew. Inside this silent chamber, time stretches. Change unfolds slowly. The transformation will not be complete until the return of spring. Spring does not arrive loudly. It seeps in. Slowly, the sun warms the soil of an Austrian orchard, and beneath the surface, something ancient begins to stir. In a handful of quiet patches, life wakes after months of stillness. From the loosened earth, an adult beetle rises reborn into the light, after being sealed away in ground once as dark and hardened as volcanic stone. This creature feeds only on plants. It harms nothing directly. Yet it survives because it wears its protection on the outside. A rigid exoskeleton surrounds its body, a silent barrier against the unseen dangers of this miniature world. Armor without aggression, strength without cruelty. Far above, where branches stretch toward the sky, another life feeds in a very different way. The coddling weevil moves quietly among the apple tree's blossoms. Farmers know its presence well, not because it is visible, but because of what it leaves behind. Its power lies in a single extension of its body, a long, stiff proboscis. At its end, tiny mandibles wait. With this tool, the weevil reaches where others cannot. It eats from the inside while remaining untouched on the surface, hidden in plain sight. And where the scarlet lily beetle leaves its eggs exposed to fate, this insect chooses preparation. With careful precision, the weevil drills into the heart of an apple blossom bud. Deep inside, it places a single egg. Sealed away, isolated, protected. There, unseen, life begins its journey. From the moment it hatches, the larva feeds. Slowly, the blossom changes from within. Its color darkens, its structure collapses. What should have become fruit withers instead, reshaped into something unrecognizable. Energy is gathered from destruction. And when enough has been taken, the larva enters its final passage, transforming into an adult. In this world, survival does not always require pursuit. Death can arrive quietly, without claws or venom. Life advances by consumption alone. That is why even insects without aggression, beetles, weevils, can scar trees and drain growth. They are not exceptions, they are the rule. This orchard exists in balance. Summers bring warmth. Winters remain gentle. Rain arrives in steady rhythm. Fruit grows in abundance. Such conditions allow plants to thrive, and where plants flourish, countless lives depend on them. Within a single acre, grass, shrubs, and trees form towers of nourishment. To the inhabitants of this hidden realm, even a leaf is a skyscraper. It is no surprise, then, that nearly 1 million insect species survive by feeding on plants. They are not mindless consumers. They are specialists, each shaped for a single role. Some consume plant tissue directly, others draw sustenance from within. Fallen apples attract butterflies, whose flexible proboscises allow them to sip the sweet liquid leaking from split fruit. Higher still, sawflies pierce the bark of apple trees, tapping directly into flowing sap. But among all these plant feeders, one group dominates both in number and influence: aphids. Tiny in form yet vast in presence, aphids can overwhelm an entire apple tree. Hundreds may gather on a single leaf. Plant sap flows under pressure, much like blood through veins. Aphids insert their spined mouthparts directly into the plant. They do not pull the sap, it enters them on its own. They seek protein to grow, yet sap offers little. Instead, it carries sugar and water in excess. The aphid is trapped in a cycle it cannot escape. It eats constantly, processes endlessly. Excess is expelled as quickly as it arrives. The insect becomes a living engine of digestion. And with each moment, a droplet forms at the end of its body. These droplets are honeydew. And to ants, they are a gift. Drawn by concentrated sugars, ants swarm aphid colonies, moving tirelessly from drop to drop. What one species discards becomes energy for another. Waste transforms into nourishment. And balance emerges. By removing honeydew from the leaves, ants prevent the spread of mold fungi organisms that would suffocate the tree. In this hidden world, nothing exists without purpose. Even excess finds its place. This is why farmers fear aphids. Their presence alone can doom an entire harvest. What makes them especially dangerous is not their size but the speed at which they multiply. Each year, on the rough bark of an apple tree, the first aphid eggs awaken, yet something unusual occurs. Only females emerge. Here, they grow rapidly, shedding their exoskeletons as they mature, becoming smaller, lighter, and fully prepared to reproduce. There are no males. None are needed. These insects do not lay eggs, they give birth. Aphids reproduce without fertilization. Each newborn is an exact copy of its mother and within days capable of giving birth again. Disease may threaten crops, but aphids are their own catastrophe, not kings of pests, but an endless army. Within these few acres, a complete microcosm already exists. Fruits, leaves, blossoms, flowing sap. Life forms shaped entirely by what they consume. Species refined by evolution, equipped with specialized bodies and behaviors that often appear strange, even disturbing. This orchard resembles a paradise, but it is anything but peaceful. Even plants know how to fight back. When aphids invade, some plants release invisible signals into the air: pheromones. A silent cry. A scent that summons other inhabitants of this hidden world. Creatures that feed on aphids. One of them answers quickly. The ladybug appears harmless. Bright, delicate, almost ornamental. But this is deception. In truth, it is a relentless hunter. A single ladybug can dismantle an entire aphid colony. Even its larvae devour aphids without pause. For the aphids, this predator arrives as if served by fate itself. Yet nearby another presence waits. Smaller, quieter, and far more terrifying. This is a parasitic wasp from the Numanidae family. Unlike predators that consume aphids directly, this wasp uses them. It approaches silently, waits for distraction. Then, in a single motion, it inserts a long stinger into the aphid's body. One egg is delivered. Nothing more is needed. The aphid is already dead, it just hasn't stopped moving yet. Inside its host, the egg becomes a larva. The larva feeds from within. When the time comes, it spins a cocoon inside the aphid's body. Movement ceases. Life drains away. The aphid's shell darkens, hardens, and dries. Days later, a new wasp emerges from this hollow shell. leaving behind a corpse and continuing the cycle. Aphids are perfect hosts. But among their relatives, another species has pushed parasitism to even darker extremes. Perched on a blade of grass, a tiny wasp waits. Cortesia gorata does not hunt movement. It hunts destiny. Its strength is patience. It begins stalking its prey before that prey even exists. For now, the Pyrus brassicae larvae remain sealed inside their eggs, clinging to the underside of a cabbage leaf. Safe for the moment. Before the predator strikes, the larvae must face their first trial. With powerful mandibles already formed, they chew through their eggshells. In minutes they emerge. New life, exposed to the world. The larvae consume what remains of their shells. Then they turn to the leaf beneath them. Their appetite is immediate and relentless. Entire crops can fall to these caterpillars. But in this moment they are vulnerable, focused, unaware. This is the instant the wasp has been waiting for. Cortesia approaches without aggression. No warning, no struggle. It pauses only long enough to aim. Then it pierces the soft flesh. This is not a sting, it is a sentence. The appendage it uses is a channel. A passage through which the wasp deposits its egg directly inside the living body of its prey. The outcome is inevitable. The strike is instant. Cortesia does not hesitate. It moves from host to host, implanting as many eggs as time allows. Dozens may be placed inside a single caterpillar, sometimes nearly 50. When its work is done, the parasitic wasp vanishes, leaving behind bodies that still move, still feed, still appear untouched. Yet inside them, countless invisible clocks have begun to count down. The caterpillars recover quickly, their appetite remains. As with all larvae, their instinct is simple: grow fast, consume relentlessly, store enough energy to one day transform into butterflies. But those marked by Cortesia will never reach that future. Beneath the calm canopy of the orchard, hidden by towering trees and gentle light, a quiet tragedy unfolds. For nearly 2 weeks, the caterpillars continue eating. They swell, they strengthen. They appear healthy, plump, full of life. Then, as the moment of transformation approaches, something changes. Those attacked at birth begin to falter. Their movements slow. Their bodies tremble. Weakness spreads. And one day, the illusion collapses. The caterpillars rupture. From within, the wasp larvae emerge, tiny, alien forms breaking free from their living shelter. These are the offspring of Cortesia glomerata, fully grown after weeks of feeding unseen. During this time, the parasites have consumed their host carefully, sparing vital organs until the final moment. Once exposed to the air, they show no hesitation. The dying caterpillar is abandoned. Survival no longer depends on it. Immediately, the larvae begin to spin their cocoons. The papilio caterpillar will never become a butterfly. Its body has served another destiny. Inside their silken chambers, the wasps now possess all the energy they need. Transformation begins. After a single week, the change is complete. Adult wasps push their way out into the world. One by one, siblings emerge from the cluster of cocoons. Reproduction begins almost instantly. The males waste no time. The first female to reveal the tip of her antennae becomes the center of attention. Surrounded, fertilized. She soon departs, just as her mother once did, to search for new caterpillars in which to place her eggs, and the cycle resumes. The efficiency of Cortesia parasitism is staggering. In only a few generations, entire populations of host caterpillars can be erased. What appears cruel to human eyes is, in truth, precision. Nature does not judge. Cortesia has simply evolved one of the most effective survival strategies known, becoming one of the deadliest mothers in the insect world. This unseen balance did not arise by chance. It was forged over millions of years. Without such limits, plant-feeding insects like aphids would have consumed the world long ago. Plants evolved defenses. Other insects evolved to exploit those defenses. Aphids adapted to reproduce faster and spread wider. Everything responded. Everything escalated. In nature, evolution is an endless arms race. And insects are not the only contenders. On a nearby branch of the great evolutionary tree lives another lineage: arachnids, spiders, scorpions, hunters shaped by patience and venom. Though distant relatives, they must not be mistaken for insects. Insects possess 3 body segments: head, thorax, abdomen. They walk on 6 legs, often carry antennae, mandibles, and wings. Spiders follow a different design. Their head and thorax merge into a single cephalothorax. They move on 8 legs. They have no wings, no mandibles. Instead, their jaws have become venomous fangs chelicerae designed solely to kill. Armed and silent, spiders reign as the apex predators of this hidden world. Among spiders, the craft of hunting has been refined to near perfection. Over countless generations, they have learned to vanish into their surroundings, to remain motionless until the faintest vibration betrays their prey. Some rely on traps' intricate webs spun from sticky silk. Others reject patience and instead pursue, stalking their targets with relentless focus. At the base of an apple tree, beneath a dense curtain of leaves and shadows, another hunter begins its work. It looks like a scorpion, yet it carries no tail, no stinger. Still, its ferocity rivals any true predator. This is the false scorpion. Small in size, immense in hunger. With movements as fast as a lightning strike, it attacks the smallest insect that crosses its path. Once seized, the victim has no escape. Hidden within the false scorpion's pincers are venom glands of terrifying efficiency. The moment the sharp tips pierce the insect's shell, paralysis follows instantly. Hooks sink deeper. A powerful digestive fluid is injected directly into the body. Within minutes, the internal organs dissolve into liquid. The predator feeds not by tearing flesh, but by drinking life itself, siphoning its prey like a gray dying broth. So relentless is its appetite that it may seize another victim before finishing the first. Not far from this scene, another unsettling figure moves through the soil. It has more than 8 legs, and insects are its preferred meal. Millipedes do not possess 1,000 limbs, but they do carry specialized 4-legs pincer-like appendages capable of delivering venom strong enough to kill most insects. Yet even here, dominance is never guaranteed. Despite its weapons, this hunter may fall victim to a single beetle, armored in thick chitin. In this hidden world, survival offers no certainty. Today's predator may become tomorrow's prey. Scorpions, spiders, even venomous hunters, none are immune. Life in these fragments of wilderness is a constant negotiation between opportunity and danger. And beyond predators and prey, a third force thrives in the aftermath. Scavengers. Plants stripped by herbivores. Bodies hollowed by parasites. Remains left behind by hunters. All of it becomes nourishment. As evolution pressed forward, certain inhabitants specialized in decay itself. These creatures live mostly beneath the surface, within the soil. At the foot of an apple tree, one such scavenger moves through clumps of earth, a springtail. Ancient and omnivorous, this tiny insect feeds on the remains of both plants and animals. But survival demands vigilance. At any moment, a meal may be abandoned. To escape danger, springtails possess a remarkable adaptation, a small appendage beneath the body that acts like a coiled spring. In a fraction of a second, it releases, launching the insect into the air. Springtails are harmless. They do not hunt. They consume leftovers. Yet evolution has granted them something more valuable than armor: speed. Escape. In this world, survival does not always favor strength. Sometimes the ability to vanish is enough. As daylight fades, another army emerges. From the shadows come the grave diggers, nocturnal scavengers drawn to the carcasses left behind. When the sun rises once more, they retreat underground and the orchard awakens again. Across mountain slopes and grasslands, nothing is wasted, everything is reused. Even dung becomes a world of its own. Here, flies of the Columbidae group gather. These insects feed on feces, transforming waste into opportunity. For them, dung is not merely food, it is a nursery. Eggs laid in this rich material hatch in safety, surrounded by nourishment. When the larvae have consumed enough, they enter their final transformation. Encased within a protective shell, they become pupae. To escape this chamber, the insect relies on a specialized organ located between its eyes. Filled with fluid, it expands until the cocoon bursts open, releasing an adult fly. Their lives may seem unglamorous, but their role is essential. By recycling organic matter left behind by herbivores and predators, they return nutrients to the soil. From mountain pastures to orchard shade, every blade of grass and every apple tree depends on this cycle. Roots anchor into earth renewed by decay. Leaves reach upward, capturing sunlight. In this unseen world, nothing is wasted. Everything returns. Through photosynthesis, plants capture light. But through their roots, they reach downward deep into the soil to draw out minerals hidden in darkness. Beneath our few acres of land, if one were to dig just a little, another silent inhabitant would appear. Discreet, essential. The earthworm. This unassuming creature belongs to an ancient lineage. The earthworm is a true architect of the soil. Without rest, it tunnels through the ground, swallowing earth and releasing it again, transforming raw matter into fertile humus. It is one of nature's most efficient recyclers. Feeding on the last traces of organic debris, it extracts nutrients and minerals that plants require to grow. What others discard, it refines. The earthworm carries an extraordinary trait. It is both male and female at once. Any two individuals can reproduce together, regardless of pairing, a perfect design for survival. A guarantee of continuity. Here lies an earthworm egg. Sealed and protected, the embryo changes slowly within. After 4 weeks, a tiny worm emerges from its cocoon. Only a few millimeters long, yet destined for growth. Within a year, it may stretch beyond 30 centimeters, joining millions of others beneath the orchard, quietly enriching the soil that sustains all life above. These are the same plants that nourish insects. Insects that feed other insects, creatures that fall to scavengers, and scavengers that return everything to the earth. The circle closes. Every species has spent millions of years fighting to secure its place within this endless cycle. On average, insects and spiders are hundreds of times smaller than humans. Perhaps that is why their world escapes notice. Yet even here, within this miniature realm, another universe exists, one far smaller still. Draw closer to the apple tree. Look beyond the visible. You will begin to sense movement where none should be. This is the invisible world within the invisible world. The world of mites. Mites are arachnids, related to spiders and scorpions. Yet they form an entire universe of their own. Within it exist scavengers, plant eaters, and predators. As in the insect realm, survival here is relentless. The killings are microscopic, but no less brutal. Millions of lives unfold within just a few acres of what appears to be a peaceful orchard. Above ground, nothing betrays the truth. No sound, no sign. Yet beneath every blade of grass and under every leaf, survival is contested endlessly. For millions of years, silent wars have been fought without witness. Those who remain today have endured unimaginable loss, entire lineages erased, generations extinguished. Only a few endured, those who adapted, who found the narrow path through this unforgiving battlefield. The smallest ant, the simplest fly, the tiniest spider. Each is the descendant of survivors who endured when countless others failed.